Hi, I'm Graham and welcome back to Man vs Film. It is July already and it's time for another top 10 of movies that you can watch on Netflix UK right now. So let's just get started with number 10 on my list, which is Blade 2. Blade forms an uneasy alliance with the Vampire Council to stop the Reapers who are slowly decimating the vampire community. In my opinion, it's the best of the Blade trilogy. It brings along Guillermo del Toro as the director, and he brings with him his very visual style. Along with that, he brings Donnie Yen, and who doesn't want Donnie Yen in a movie? He's fantastic. You have these vampire SAS assassin type people who are fighting Blade. You have this kind of unease between the two factions. It's very good. The special effects are excellent, and it's a very stylish and exciting movie. Number 9 is 3 Days to Kill. A dying CIA agent trying to reconnect with his estranged daughter agrees to one last mission in exchange for some experimental drug that could save his life. It stars Kevin Costner as the CIA agent, Haley Stanfield as his daughter, as well as Amber Heard as this kinda not so clean cut CIA handler, which is telling Costner what deadly missions he's to do. It's full of exciting action set pieces. It has some very good comedic moments. It has a nice interplay between Costner and Stanfield as their relationship kinda grows a little bit stronger throughout the movie, but we're there for the action, and this movie delivers, and it is very much a fun flick to watch. Number 8 on my list is Marvel's AntMan. Armed with a super suit, cat burglar Scott Lang must help his mentor, Hank Pym, plan and pull off a heist that will save the world. AntMan had a lot of production issues, and that's what kind of take up most of the stories when this movie was getting made. The fact that Edgar Wright left in the final lurches and they had to bring in another director, Peyton Reed, to take over, and everybody was expecting a mess, and they were surprised when what you got was an actually pretty fun, pretty entertaining Marvel movie. It's not the grandiose scale that we're used to seeing with Avengers, with the whole world in jeopardy. It's a smallish story, it's a contained story, it's a character piece as well, as we're introduced to Scott Lang, and we kind of like him. He's funny. This movie has a lot of humour, and it has humour within the action scenes as well. You have these action scenes that are, for the people involved, are deadly, they're struggling to fight against each other. When it pulls back to show you the real world size, it's just a small blurb on the planet. It is fun, it's entertaining, it's quick, and it's got some nice performances, and it's a movie for pretty much all ages, I would say. Number 7 is Anthropod, a true story based on a mission in World War II to assassinate an SS general who was the proprietor of the final solution. He also happens to be the third in command of the Third Reich. Starring Jamie Dornan and Cillian Murphy, this movie, I wasn't really too sure what to expect when I stuck it on, and it becomes a very engrossing piece about these two men on a mission where they probably won't survive, and their main aim is to stop the atrocities that are happening in Czechoslovakia. So you have these people who are kind of helping them, who know that the backlash is going to be against them if the mission fails. You've got this really exciting, tense mission midway through the movie, which I thought was going to take place at the end, and then you have all this suspense and tension afterwards, and it's sort of layered up really well. I had no idea how it was going to end. Number 6 is Catfight. The rivalry between two old college friends finally comes to a head when they happen to meet each other at a glamorous event, one being a guest and one being a server there. I really liked this movie when I saw it. It was something that was truly unexpected, and I truly had no idea where it was going to go. You have this running theme about how women can tear each other down throughout the movie, and how physically and mentally they do that. This movie is punctuated by 3 knockout fights as the two lead characters literally beat 7 shades out of each other. The fights are vicious, but so is the humour in this as well. I think it's a great movie, and it's one that a lot of people haven't heard of, but it's definitely worth your time. Number 5 is War Machine. A successful and charismatic 4-star general is tasked by NATO to command forces in Afghanistan and try to wind down the war that's going on there. Directed by David Michôd and starring Brad Pitt, produced by his company Plan B as well, this is a biting war satire about the futility of really trying to do anything in amongst all this political atmosphere that's going on as well. It is anchored by this terrific performance by Brad Pitt, who pretty much is on screen for 99% of the time. And he's excellent. I really liked it. The movie is a little bit uneven tonally as the final third becomes something a little bit more but it's still an enjoyable movie. And for something to appear on Netflix with a 60 million budget with Brad Pitt in the starring role, you should definitely be watching this one. Another Netflix original at number 4, and that is Shammar Lake. An inventive crime thriller following a small town sheriff as he tries to unlock the mystery of 3 small-time criminals in a heist gone severely wrong. This is an interesting pulpy kind of story. It's all about this society on the underbelly of this town, you know, the sort of darker elements that are there. And its main interesting fact is the way that the story is told. It is told over 5 days, Monday to Friday, but it is told backwards, starting at Friday and working its way to Monday. When you get to Monday, you get the answer to the mystery that you didn't know you were actually looking for. It's really well put together. It's 80-something minutes. It's really quick. It's full of interesting performances, some good comedic moments as well, and I genuinely had a lot of fun with Shammar Lake. Number 3, again another Netflix original, and this one is Spectral. A science fiction story centred about a group of special ops agents who are sent in to battle a supernatural enemy in amongst a war zone. This was a really fun action thriller. Now this has been recommended to me by a couple of people before I finally took the plunge and watched it. The poster put me off, the kind of blurb about it put me off, but this was really fun. It's got some great production values in this war-torn country. It's got some great special effects when you see the spectres that they're fighting against or having to struggle to deal with. It's an interesting storyline, it's exciting, and it actually sticks to landing with a plausible explanation as to why these things are there. Number 2 is side effects. A young woman's world unravels when she is prescribed a drug by her psychiatrist. Unfortunately, it has unexpected side effects that have long-lasting repercussions. Steven Soderbergh is one of my favourite directors, and I really liked this movie when he kind of had a little bit of Hitchcock in him, a little bit of suspense, a little bit of tension, a little bit of mystery in this movie. He's got a great cast, and they all do exceptionally well in this movie. It's one of these movies that just keeps unravelling the more it goes on. You're just never quite sure who's good, who's bad, who's playing whom in this movie, and it's all down to the way Soderbergh films it, sets it up and shows you what he wants you to see. It keeps you on the edge of the seat, and the answer to the question is rather good and unexpected as well. Number 1 on my list for July 2017 for Netflix UK is War on Everyone. 2 corrupt cops set out to blackmail and frame every criminal that isn't unfortunate enough to cross their paths. Michael Pena and Alexander Skarsgård are the 2 cops in this really bleak, dark, comedically funny movie. It feels like something that would have come out just after Pulp Fiction and would probably have been lost amongst a crowd of mimicking movies that kind of followed that trend. This one, even though the distance has passed, it still feels like one of those movies, but has enough newness in it to keep me interested. It's some very dark tones, some very dark elements in amongst it. It is bitterly funny. There is 2 terrific performances from the lead characters, and I think this is a movie that everyone should see. It's not for everyone, but I think they should see it. So that's what I've chosen for this month. Is there anything I've missed? Is there anything I should have recommended? Let me know in the comment box below, and if you find anything you like, let me know as well. And I'll see you next time on Man vs. Film.